And there we go. Everything's all set up. Hello everyone. Welcome to my new Let's Play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Yeah, I know this isn't exactly the RPG thing I described back in Beyond Two Souls. However, I figure I may as well try something new, do something actually fun instead of that because of what happened with my 999 Let's Play. So, yeah, I figured I may as well, to make up for that, to try something new, try something innovative or whatever. And so, yeah, my first Switch Let's Play this time of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So, I guess let's kind of get into things. Because it's a visual novel, I'm going to do the same thing I did with 999 and not include a bunch of the fluff or like extra stuff. Mostly because, I want you guys to go and buy the game and play it yourself. So it's like, Anyways, without any further ado, let's get into things. What do I want to do here? I think it was select adventure I gotta click first. So yes, this game is split up into two halves. There's the Great Ace Attorney Adventures and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, and that's mostly because originally this was 3DS games that were released only in Japan and were never officially released over to the West until now. And so they kind of bundled the two games up together like this, and yeah. Anyways, I guess let's just click new game, cause good.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some were swept away by the tide.
Yeah, that scared me for a second. Yeah, starting the series off with a bang, literally.
The turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Yeah, not even gonna be like the rest of the series and just start whatever. Episode 1: The Adventure of the Great Departure. Whatever. Ah, yes. I should probably mention the reason I picked this game, and not the actual first Ace Attorney game is because this takes place canonically in the timeline, plus I can play this without having played the rest of the Ace Attorney games. So, cool. Anyways. 22nd of November, 8:43 a.m. The Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendants Alter Chamber 5. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. What was his word? Ah, that's enough. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Sogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. Yeah, I wanted to give him a more gallant voice or something like that, because that's just the kind of person he is. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So, you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud, as your friend. Actually, wait, am I too loud here? Do I have to, like, turn down my voice or whatever again? There's not a soul in the universe who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend, like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire? I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? Actually, no, not his voice. Well, actually, no, that's probably best. That's probably the best voice for him. I'll figure out whatever. Sorry, I'm rambling. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi, you should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him. Sorry, it's just that line. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. All right then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. Yeah, why are you still here? Ugh, this is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand? As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that the permission will be revoked, and never granted again. What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may not have chosen to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not, do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. that is literally anything but forgettable. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. Wow, literally starting things off with a bang here. 22nd of November, 9 a.m. The Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom number 2. And so, the game begins. But before that, I want to make sure I save. What the? Oh, okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure of something. So my save file for this is number 4? Yes? Yes. My save file for this is number 4, I think. Okay. I'll have to remember that. Number 4. Oh, of course it's number 4. The unluckiest of numbers. Oh well. So this is a courtroom. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No doubt, no court in the land has more power. Why did I feel like that said doubt for like a second there? That's weird. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I don't know, the judge is old. Should I give him a more gravelly voice? Yeah, sure, we'll stick with that. Why not?
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedures for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? I don't know. I don't want to give him too much of an old man voice, but I feel like that's good. Whatever, I'll listen to it post-recording and see if that's better. If it's better. This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Well, we're not going to wait and see. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything, just now, before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off. No, it's not that really, it's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
I cannot do... Okay, sorry, I literally cannot do high-pitched voices, and I know his is high-pitched. Whatever. Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant is innocent is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? Well, I guess you're not exactly competent. If you don't know what that means. He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But... wait. I'm so nervous. I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank? You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of R. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press R for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. Yes. In trials, evidence is evidence is the thing that speaks the most. It isn't just talking. In the court record, you can view evidence and people, for which you will find details about both. And yeah, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. So, with that being said, let's look in the court record to see the name of the victim. Victim's name? John H. Wilson. Huh. Okay, Wilson. It'll be apparent why that's a bit important later, but yeah, so the victim's name is John H. Wilson. British male. Time of death is 19th of November, shortly after 2. Cause of death is a single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage fired from pectoral ballistic trauma. So he got shot in the stomach area? No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. Well, that's a bit hard to believe. I mean, if we supposedly did this from up close, then wouldn't a bullet just zip on through the body? Or like, huh, that's odd. Okay. Now, you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record. Then press X to present. Try it now. Okay. John H. Wilson, 47, huh? A visiting professor of medicine from the British Empire.
Yes!
Huh, the very place Cosmo was supposed to go. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. What? How do you even say that?
Well, at least you could remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor of England, invited to Yuma University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
Ugh, but I didn't do it. This case is coming from under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting English policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay. Oh wait, I just read this already, so. Guess we got something new here? The British Empire. Wow. It's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should at least go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. Let's see. Was it a bullet wound or was it literally just... Yeah, from a bullet, fatal hemorrhage. Okay, so I think it's from a hemorrhage. The cause of death. Wow, obviously, that was... Oh, I'm skipping this. It's literally the same thing I just did. Find the evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and present it now. Here it is.
Yes!
It's literally it. Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile. That is the post-mortem report, I take it.
Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Huh. So they don't exactly dive into the body and, like, cut it open or whatever to find the cause of death. They just look at it and maybe come to the body to find out everything. They don't use any, like, scientific mumbo-jumbo. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later.
This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You could clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion.
Hold up. Wait a minute. If there are scorch marks on his jacket, that means the bullet was fired at close range, yet it didn't pass through the body? The bullet? No, oh yeah, bullet was fired, yeah. Yeah, the bullet did not pass through the victim's body. But there's scorch marks? That doesn't make sense. Huh. Sorry, what's it called? It's been a while since I've played this, so I don't remember exactly everything, but, huh.
In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range.
Thank you, counsel. The court will now accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. So, that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. Its clue superior to a drawing. The detail's incredible. Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
Ugh, this is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes. Clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. In other words, Kazuma will be like running things from the shadows. He'll be helping us out to make sure we don't get convicted. But if we fail, he's not going to take any of the blame. Oh, when he was speaking to me before, he simply said Kazuma must not be the defense lawyer. Oh. So it's like, even if we lose, he's not responsible. He's going to be all good. Maybe, but... Alright, let's do this. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first.
Witness, state your name and occupation before the court, please.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called Le Carnival. Yeah, blood coming down? Is this man fit for trial? Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me.
Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 2-3 days ago.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. and standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur.
But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Yunosuke, you'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see in court here today?
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at the table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? I mean, I guess we can just wait and see? Like... That's not something the waiter could have missed. Whatever, let's do it and see what happens.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting next to him, or sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Let me see.
Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout, drawn by yourself, I presume?
That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in the question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card. The sketch of the restaurant's at the back. Alright.
So, the court has now just heard a precis of the case.
Yes. At last, the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. What is with my eyes? Seriously, it's like I see like the word for, but it's actually at, so it's like whatever. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully on you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has some decisive evidence from the sworn witnesses who are present at the scene of the crime.
What do you think I should do, Cosma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Auchi, please continue with the proceedings.
Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be.
Ugh.
In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses.
Wait, aren't I supposed to get a cross-examination?
Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses.
Oh, bring forth the witnesses at once. Wow, that was a huge fail. Whatever.
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Yasanosa, reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employed as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District, Kyuryu Kodakuta, at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that man is saying. Basically, he goes there to get some nice tea and talk with people about his own... What did he say he got? Fine articles of antiquity from... antiquity, so antique items or whatever. Okay, basically he just goes there for tea and talks about his own antique items with people interested. Okay. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. Also, hold up. Japan is La Carnival. This is Japan. Olden time Japan. So... like... huh. I mean, I guess Spanish was around back then, but language, so... He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets Le Carnaval because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir. And what was that sound? This man is as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is a decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening? The soldier is claiming he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, yeah? What is... Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Alright. What the witnesses saw. How long are we in? We are 40-something minutes in. Okay. That is just enough time to kind of get into this, but not get too far, which stinks, but, alright. Whatever. I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Hold up, again. From the back? No. It's from the front, and the bullet didn't even go through. That's a dead lie. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious, absconded precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment? You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim? Yes, sir. Oh, sorry, that was probably violent. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked Bart University cadet, sir. That cruel and unforgivable enemy. I am messing this up big time. Oh well. What times we live in, when an English gentleman can be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes. All I did was pick up the gun I saw lying on the floor. If you saw a gun lying on the floor, why on earth would you pick it up? Like, after I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and after drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. Why did you pick it up? I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. Yeah? Just the professor casually drops a gun he has on him? Like... Ugh. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up... Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now.
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable witness to justice.
Certainly. The testimony the court has heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? Okay, literally, I'm trying with the voice acting. The last time I did this was 999, and that went pretty okay. 50 minutes in. Oh, we literally have enough time to... Okay, that's good. Okay, great. So let's do this. I am, the defense demand its right to a cross-examination.
Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it? How pathetic.
Huh? How did he know?
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant.
Oh,
Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. And we will do that next time. Yeah, that's right. We're like 50-something minutes in. I think now is a good time to end this before things kind of get a bit too... we get too into things, so... Yeah, next time, we're gonna kind of get straight into cross-examining everything, and... yeah. So, I will see you all next time.